I made this built-in shoe storage cabinet from 3 units that I got from Ikea. Cabinets do have a notch on the back that's meant to go over the moulding, but my moulding's a little bit bigger than that, so I'm going to have to adjust this. I'm just going to push this in. I would say that's pretty much perfect. I notched all 3 units and now it's time to tie them together. I'm going to drill a pilot hole and I'm going to drive a 1 1/4 inch screw in to hold them together. I'm going to put 10 screws into each joint. Now with them all together, I can get them lined up on the wall and get it into position. And this is where we start to transform this unit. We're going to add a baseboard. I'm going to put 45-degree miters on each side, so this is going to look really good. I'm going to use the unit to take the measurement and then use my miter saw to make the cut. Now I'm going to make sure this base moulding fits up perfectly, and then I'm going to get the return piece and get this to the right size. You can see here it's a little bit too long, but not to worry, I can cut this down to the correct size. Before I do that, I want to make sure that this angle is at a true 90 degree because I don't trust my miter saw. This is what it looks like when I've traced out what the moulding looks like onto this base plate. Got a piece of wood secured to the workbench, and that's really important because we're going to be using a jigsaw to cut this out. Oh, perfect, almost. Just for added support here, I'm going to apply a little bit of glue. We can line this up right to the corners. Got 2-inch nails in here. I then put 4 nails into each cabinet to make sure this was secured. Then onto the side plate, I did switch the nails out for 1 1/4 to make sure I didn't drive these all the way through into the unit. We got our face frames. We got a 1x2, and this here is actually, let's see here, it is 1 inch, it's 1.5 inches thick. Now we only need 1 1/4 down here, so we're going to take a 1/4 inch off this. So we're going to get the table saw out and do that, and then for height wise, we're actually going to put it up just to underneath here. So from there we need 32 3/8. So turned out 32 3/8 is just a little bit too long. I'm going to use glue and nails for the face frames. Just make sure that the drawers do open. So put the face frame in place and then open each drawer, and then you know that you've got it in the right place and you're not going to be blocking any drawer. In total, you will need 8 face frames for this build, 4 for the front and 2 for each side. For along the top here, I did trim a piece down. This is about 9/16 thick. It's the same 1x. I just got some 120 grit sandpaper here and a block of wood. Let's go around and sand everything up. I'm going to scuff this up ever so slightly, and that's so our primer sticks to that. I'm going to fill in all the gaps between the pieces of wood, like down this side here. This way you're going to get a really nice finish when it's all said and done, and fill in any nail holes. Nobody wants to see them. We already gave everything a scuff sand. We already sanded everything down here, so all I need to do is come back and sand over all the areas where I put some filler in. We've got everything sanded. Just going to dust everything down. Don't want to have any debris left or the paint won't stick. I hate painting, but something I have learned over the years is the prep makes it go a little bit easier because you don't have to come back and do any more painting than you've anticipated. I put 1 coat of primer on and then I put 2 coats of this blue paint. I think it looks grey, but I'm going to call it blue-grey because it looks more blue to me. Leave your opinion down in the comments below. Now I'm going to sand the top down so it's ready for staining. I'm going to apply a pre-stain conditioner. This way you don't get a blotchy finish when you apply the stain. And the stain that I had lying around was this willow grey. Really like this colour. We did our dining table this colour, so I know what it's going to look like. So I get the stain on here, and then I'm going to wipe it off with a dry cloth. Now you can leave this a little bit longer if you want a darker stain, but I wanted it a little bit lighter, so I didn't leave it that long. Now I'm going to top it off with a clear coat. I'm using the matte Varathane here. I'm going to apply 3 coats and give it a light sand in between. I was using the wall anchors that came with the units, but I should really upgrade them to something a little bit stronger as they're a little bit flimsy. I was expecting to use some sealant at this joint, but I absolutely nailed it, so I'm going to skip that step. Now it's time to secure the back plate, and I'm going to use my stud finder here to find the stud, and then I can drive a 2-inch nail through the back plate and into the stud. This is going to secure that in place while I get this top on. The top consists of a 1x3 on its end and then a 1x12, and this creates a perfect overhang in my opinion. And to secure the top, I'm going to secure it from below. I'm going to drill a pilot hole through, and then use 1¼ inch pocket hole screws to secure the top. That's what I had lying around, and sometimes you just have to work with what you have. Now I'm going to install the doors, drawers, whatever you call them. I did put some fancy handles on here, but they're totally not necessary because you can open them without that. And now it's time to start putting my shoes away so that people don't see them as soon as they walk into the house. Fits 4 shoes roughly, adult size shoes per side. You've got 2 in here, and look at that, all hidden away. Looks great. And there's every single other shoe in there too. There we have it. The shoes are hidden away. Nobody's going to see them when they walk in the house or trip over them.